connect? Have you connected? Are you here? Welcome everyone. I have the slowest internet in the world, so it seems. Woohoo! Welcome to England. So the weather is actually quite lovely today. It was torrential rain yesterday. I got drenched multiple times doing a food shop, going to the gym, getting petrol, and just tying up the final things that I need to do before I fly to Turkey to have surgery. So I have 5 days left. It's under a week. The countdown has begun, and I packed my case yesterday, so I'm feeling very in control when it comes to being on track, knowing what I need to complete, ticking off all of my errands and to-dos, and then just hopping on a plane and relaxing for a week. So I will be in Istanbul for 8 days. I will have my surgery the day after I land. So my surgical consultation takes place as soon as I land. And then I fast that evening, ready for my general anaesthetic in the morning, the following morning. So I am very excited. I'm having 6 surgical procedures during my stay, which probably sounds very excessive, but I wonder if you can guess what they are. What 6 surgical procedures will my surgeon be performing for me? Brian says, good afternoon, nice outfit, what you are wearing. Oh, thank you, Brian. Good morning from the UK. It is 10:30 almost, a few minutes off of 10:30, and I'm just in my gym wear. So it's my final few days of training, working out, being active before I then take a few weeks off as I heal and recover. So something that I am doing today to prepare for my surgery, knowing that my body will go through a lot of healing, as is the case every time you have any surgery. It is a controlled trauma to the body where you are causing a recovery response. So today I am having a blood cleanse. This means that my immune system will be tip-top, ready to recover, be fighting fit and strong, and get me through everything that the week ahead has in store for me. Jamrad says, I think that's salam, but I'm not sure if that's spelled the same way. Thank you for joining. Thank you all. Malika says, bonjour, bonjour Malika, welcome. So yes, I am fully packed now. It's just the final things like toothbrush and some moisturizer to pop into my bag as I leave my home to travel to the airport, and I am done. How are you with packing for when you go away? Do you do it way in advance? Do you do it the night before? Do you ever find that you get somewhere and then you forget some of the things that you needed? Do you feel relaxed about traveling? Do you kind of run it through a million times in your mind before you go? Do you touch your passport as much as I do? I probably stroke my passport 100 times thinking, have I left it? Have I forgot this? Will something stop me from going? I always have these kind of invasive thoughts, like Home Alone, that you will forget something and something will go wrong. So yes, it's definitely out of my comfort zone to travel. So I am more OCD than ever when I am preparing to go to another country. How are you all? Ali says, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. Loving this beautiful bright blue skies in England, which has made a change from all of the very torrential rain and wind. We've had so many trees blow down where we are, as well as all of the roads have flooded because we just don't have the drainage for such a sheer volume of rain. It was very torrential. Mavla says, I love you. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. And Salim says, trying to read, there's some foreign words in there which I can't understand. How are you doing today? Are you single, married, or separated? I don't share my relationship status online because that's something that's personal and private, but I am unmarried. I am anti-marriage. I never want to get married. How about you all? Are you married, single, separated, divorced, whatever the titles are? Mavia says, I love you. Oh, sending love to you all. Rose says, so beautiful. Thank you. Scrolling your comments, guys. Dara says, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is the morning in the UK. Whereabouts are you all based? What are you up to today? And how do you feel about the week ahead? I'm very excited to go and have my surgeries, plural 6 surgeries, surgical procedures. And I will, of course, be sharing an in-depth blog with everything that's involved, the before, the during, the after, maybe even footage from my surgery, if the surgical team allow. I love going really in depth into the things that I experience and go through in life. I think in sharing these journeys of different periods of growth and understanding and personal development, we can also help others to find their own path in life, to feel motivated and inspired to try new things, do new things, meet new people, go new places, and be the very best version of yourself, the most authentic, true, and understanding version of you, that you're not filtering or censoring or misleading anyone with your reality. And I think a lot of people kind of feel this pressure to be who other people want them to be, to fit a mold or play a character or a role in their life, when actually behind closed doors, they are nothing like that. So I think it's really important that we have that peace and freedom to just say, I don't care what other people think. This is me, and take it or leave it. You know, I think that's how we should have that mindset, to just accept and embrace ourselves. And that way people around us can choose whether or not we are for them. And if we're not, at least we're not for them because we are ourselves, rather than being right for someone because of who we portray ourselves to be, who we pretend to be, to make ourselves their ideal person. When the reality is they're not being themselves, and we're never going to be who we're not. So why not just save all of the time and heartache and just be yourself from the get-go? I think that's far more important. Nasir says, hi. Hi, Nasir. Bull says, hello, sis. Welcome. Somebody's name is written in a different language, says inside also tattoo. Interesting. Dara says, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Malva says, I love you. Somebody has said too much tattoo. You don't have to look. You can keep scrolling and find another influencer to follow. That's absolutely fine. I love my tattoos. And I have a lot of time and appreciation for those who also appreciate body art. Bangura says, how are you? Very well, thank you. How are you? Talduka says, I love you and I love your voice. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have the weirdest accent. It's like a kind of non-accent. There's nothing there. I'm in the English countryside, so it's not as strong as a northern accent or a Western accent. It's just an absent of accent, I think. Malva says, love you. Thank you, guys. Nasir says, I love you so much. Thank you all for the love. I hope you're having an awesome morning. Uma is from Mauritius. Wow, paradise. Welcome. Thank you all for joining. How is the weather there today? I think we're at like 12 degrees in the UK, and we have some sunshine. Not quite blue skies, like white cloudy skies, but they're not grey. They're not grey and wet like they have been for quite some time. Somebody said, how old are you? I just had my 38th birthday on the 13th of October, so I am 38. How old are you all? Where are you from? What are you up to? And how is your week going so far? Andy says, good morning from Miami. Welcome, Andy from Miami. How is the weather there? Also, I'm obsessed with weather, I think. I think it's so lovely how you can appreciate the kind of two extremes, from the cold to the heat, from day to night, from just sunny blue skies to then calming rainstorms. Having that complete contrast gives us the perspective to enjoy a happy medium, to be able to say, I appreciate the blue skies because I've been through the thunderstorms. And also the storms are a clearing of energy. They give us the chance to kind of step back, relax, unwind, and then get ready for what is to come. And we couldn't fully appreciate the most beautiful things in life if we first didn't understand the absence of those beautiful things. To have that kind of feeling of absence makes the heart grow fonder. You know, to be without, to then truly appreciate what we are with. So I love all weather. I think definitely when you have days when you have a really wet day followed by a lovely sunny dry day, it feels all the more sweeter, as opposed to, you know, our seasons are very similar in the UK. Every now and then we'll have like a heat wave, which is in its 30 degrees something. And we're like, oh my goodness, this is wonderful. And then we can't cope. And then we just wish for kind of a washed out day just to recover because, yeah, we're quite pale throughout the year. Gary says, hello, how are you feeling today? So beautiful. I love you so much. Oh, thank you, Gary. I've probably said that a few times now that I'm having a wonderful day. So I'm sorry if I've repeated the answer there. I'm scrolling through your questions as they come up. I hope you're all well and having a lovely, lovely day. Scrolling, Andrew says, gorgeous lady. Thank you for the compliments. That's very sweet of you all. Do you have lovely things in your life at the moment that are seeing you through October where you kind of notice the changing colour of the leaves and you think it's so, so pretty? Pumpkins everywhere. The kind of magic of life, of embracing each season and looking at what the differences are that you lack throughout the rest of the year. So for me, I love the kind of cozy cardigans, blankets, fluffy boots, that feeling of being wrapped up and held. I think there's always a lot of safety and security in the winter. Whereas I think in the summer, you have a lot of exposure. You know, you're in your swimwear, or maybe you're wearing shorts, or maybe wearing a crop top, or men wearing a vest. And you kind of feel this greater sense of judgment in the summer, I feel. Whereas in the winter, you're all kind of concealed and cozy, and you don't really worry about impressing anyone. You don't try to be your best in the winter. You're just kind of under this cocoon of warmth and protection. And I feel like it kind of gives you a bit of time off to relax and not feel so judged and in front of everyone, I suppose. Do you guys feel the same way when you wear like a jumper or a heavy jacket as opposed to going out in a t-shirt in the summer? Does it give you that sense of, you know, I don't have to be on stage almost? You walk down the street and people look you up and down for what you're wearing. Whereas if you just pop a coat on, you could be dressed in the most random outfit underneath, but nobody would know. So this is definitely my my season for just wearing weird random clothes when you do your laundry and nothing matches. You can just throw on a big jacket and then like a nice chunky scarf and just chill and relax and enjoy the day, not worrying about what you look like or what you're wearing or what other people think of you. Andrew says, I love your tattoos. Thank you, Andrew. Do you have any tattoos? Gonwala says, your face and figure, it's milky. Thank you. I am very pale. This is my winter skin. I don't use fake tan, even though many brands have sent me fake tan. I always think just my natural skin colour is the most normal for me. And if I try to change that, I'm like, now that I've got darker skin with fake tan, what do I wear differently? Because my face kind of fades away unless you put on bold makeup like lipstick and eyeliner. Otherwise, you kind of just lose your complexion of what's natural and normal. I'm used to being pale. I get a bit of a natural tan in the summer, but I don't go dark. So yes, I think I will always be a pale princess in comparison to a bronzed goddess, even though I would love to have bronzed skin. But it's kind of keeping up with fake tan. It will go patchy or it will fade off in areas, or some parts will be extra dark and it just doesn't look right on me. I think I'm too light to be someone who wears fake tan. But when girls know how to do it properly, it looks incredible. I'm just not the best at things like that. Says, I love you. Oh, thank you. And Khan says, hi, beautiful. Hi there, Khan. I hope you're having an awesome day reading your comments, guys. Trying to get through them, but I go off on a tangent and talk, so I will try my best to catch up. Tommy Wa says, hello. Hi there. Khan says, how are you? Very well, thank you. How are you? Mingala says, I love. Oh, thank you. Says, you're looking so good. Thank you. All these lovely compliments, and I said here in my gym wear. Scrolling your comments, Scott says, good morning. Good morning, Scott. I hope you're having a lovely day. I guess, as you said, good morning, maybe you're in the UK. If so, what part? Are we neighbours? Rashid says, so beautiful. Oh, thank you. Brett says, hi, you look amazing as always. Thank you, Brett. That's very kind. I think definitely as I've reached mid-30s, I came away from like hair extensions and nail varnish and eyelashes and things. I had this really lovely moment of just thinking, I just want to be me. I don't want the faff and the hassle and everything. And yes, it's nice to look glam and make an effort and feel dressed up. But everyday life, I just want to look in the mirror and see myself rather than a version of me that I'm not naturally. I don't know if it's the same for men. If you were to wear kind of very casual or work clothes versus dressing up for a night out, you feel extra tall, extra powerful and confident when you put on your best clothes and a nice perfume and you smell good. But then I feel like that takes away from your everyday feeling of, if I don't wear those clothes, if I don't have that perfume, if I'm not looking my best, why can't I still love myself? And I didn't want to spend every single day of my life waking up trying to disguise what I naturally look like, trying to add or change or redirect certain features. I just wanted to say, this is me and I love being me, just as everybody should love being themselves. You don't have to be the best looking person in the world. You don't have to be the most successful or the youngest or any kind of version. You just have to be you. And every year we will learn new things, try new things, experiment with our style. Bits will change, bits might drop off, bits might turn grey or have a few more lines as we go. But that's the blessing of life. That's a gift. That's something that a lot of people will never get to experience. Wholeheartedly, I'm honoured to be able to have another year on this earth, to have celebrated my 38th birthday, even though for me it still seems 30s are young. For some, they pass away in their 20s, in their teens, or as babies. And that's heartbreaking to think that how we are constantly kind of freaking out about growing old. Some people would have given anything to just have another day on earth. So really we have to rewrite that narrative about how we look at ourselves and how we judge ourselves, how we put this kind of pressure on the numbers on the birth certificate. When people say, what's your age? Are you married? You know, I know that's a very normal thing to ask a person, but I feel like a lot of people take that with pain and fear. Oh, I'm not married yet. Nobody loves me. Or I'm getting older. I'm going to die eventually. Those things shouldn't be fearful. I'm happily anti-marriage and I'm not afraid of death. I feel honoured to be alive, and every day is a blessing. Every day is a bonus. Every day is a miracle. So those two things will never be scary in my life. Just because you're not married doesn't mean that you're not loved, doesn't mean that you're not worthy or good enough. I choose not to be married because I believe in independence and freedom. And I can respectfully, wholeheartedly devote my life to a partner who I will be faithful to forever, without having to put a piece of metal on my hand or sign a piece of paper to say that we own one another. Just as I would not try to control anyone or anything in life, only make my own decisions for myself. And the people who love you and appreciate you and feel uplifted with you, they will be in your life. They will stay forever if it's the right thing for them to do. But it's not your place to force people to be with you forever. You should say you're here because you choose to be, because you value my time, not because we're in a contract and it costs you too much money to leave. I think that's where the world has kind of lost the ethos and meaning of marriage. And that's why I don't ever want to get married. It's not something that serves my soul. But as I say, I will happily uphold the meaning of marriage in a relationship without having to do this outward symbol or show or putting on a dress. I don't need that to feel like I care about someone and dedicate my life to them. I can do that regardless of those acts. Scrolling your comments, guys. How do you feel about marriage? Have you ever been married? Would you get married? Do you feel that you haven't completed life unless you have been married or are married? Perhaps it's different in different cultures and societies. I am Buddhist and I am anti-marriage. Not because I hate it. It just doesn't resonate with me as an individual. Tomwa says, you are so amazing. Oh, thank you. Yuam says, you are cute. Thank you. Somebody's asked, which country are you in now? I'm in England at the moment where I live, but in 5 days' time, I will be flying to Turkey to go and have surgery. So I will take you with me. Hopefully I'll have good enough internet connection to be able to do some Facebook Lives, show you how I'm healing and getting on, and obviously talk through extensively the 6 surgical procedures that I am having whilst I am in Turkey. Ashraf says, hi there. Thank you for the wavy hand. Khan says, you are so cute and beautiful. Oh, thank you, Khan. That's very kind of you all. I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, whatever you are doing. Hamrat says, you look fire, beautiful and amazing. Thank you. Says, happy birthday. Thank you, from the 13th of October. So it's been a few weeks now. Maybe, I don't even know what day we're on. Maybe it's been a week, actually. It's been 8 days because it was on a Monday and now we're on a Tuesday. And this month has flown by because it was my daughter's 18th birthday. And it seems that we had a million celebrations. I've also been to Halloween events and been working flat out to try and clear my diary, ready to hop on a plane and go and have surgery so I can relax for a week. Even though I'll be relaxing, I will certainly still be writing and documenting my surgical procedure. So it's kind of a relaxing change of environment as I continue to work. Raj says, how are you? I'm very well, thank you, Raj. How are you? Roxana says, hello. Hi there. And John says, John, interesting comment that I can't read. Scrolling, guys, looking for something that is suitable. Ko says, shout out from the Philippines. Oh, welcome. Thank you for joining. You are all from such beautiful countries. Have you ever been to England? And if so, how do you compare climate, temperature, culture? Were there any aspects or things that you like about England? Just as there are aspects that I think your countries are amazing and I would love to experience those. What do people think of England? Do you see it in movies or on the news? What's your opinion of it? And is it somewhere that you would like to visit or even live? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Ben says, hi, Tracy. Hi, Ben. Welcome. I hope you're well. Talat says, where are you from? I am from England. Where are you from? Scrolling Co says, shout out from the Philippines. Sorry if I've missed your comments, guys. I'm playing catch up. I think I'm slightly delayed behind. Scrolling. Ben says, you look terrific as always. Thank you. Suraj says, hello, beautiful queen. Namaste from India. Welcome. What part of India are you in? And have you seen the whole of India? I think the UK is rather small in comparison to the rest of the world. And because I live here and was born and raised here, I have to confess that I have not travelled the whole of the UK. An entire lifetime, 38 years, I've been to Wales a little bit, just for a boxing match in Cardiff, for Mount Snowdon. I've been to the Lake District for my best friend's wedding, the Cotswolds. I've never been to Scotland. I've been to Ireland a few times with family because we have Irish family, and kind of parts of the south coast and the east coast. The west coast as well, actually, when I was a child. But when I look at how much I've done abroad versus in the UK, I've done way more in different places than I have in my own country, which is ridiculous to think that if a tourist came to the UK, they would probably travel around and see all of these lovely, iconic landmarks and places, yet I've never been to them. And I'm like, what am I doing? I really need to adventure and explore more the history and the culture of my own country. because I feel like we always kind of get to the point where you have the chance to travel. So you want to go as far as possible. You want to experience a different country, a different place, a different language. Whereas there's actually so many beautiful things around you that you've yet to discover, that you're kind of missing sight of what is so meaningful and beautiful, of where you were born, or where you were raised, of the history of your founding family, past generations. I think it's important that we kind of remember to see the whole picture of where we're from before we start looking and setting our sights further afield. So certainly after I've been on my travels to Turkey, I then go to Africa in January. After that, I think I will spend some of the summer of 2026 traveling to different places in the UK, because, as I say, I've never discovered them. And I feel like I'm kind of missing out on what's so beautiful about the country I was born in. John says, good morning, good morning. How are you? Anurag, I hope I've said that right, says hi. Dewey says hi. Thank you guys for joining. Bilan says hello. Dewey is from Indonesia. Welcome, beautiful countries. Kumar says hello. Hi there. I can't read your name because it's in a different language, but you said I am talking in English. Yes, you are. You're speaking in English, but I can't read your name. But you've said I'm talking in English, but I am Bangladeshi. Welcome. Are you fluent in English, or are you using a translation tool? Because when the video is ended, it allows me to translate the comments that are written in a different language. But on live, it doesn't give me that option. So unfortunately, I can't read back what you're saying unless you write in English. But you have very good written English, so congratulations. Murad says, hello, my moon Tracy. Hi there and welcome. Scott says, I'm surprised you're not drinking coffee. Oh, I love coffee. Love coffee. I've only had like one coffee today and it's nearly 11 a.m. Can you believe? So many things to do, and then I'm rushing into central London for my blood cleanse treatment ahead of my surgery. So I've taken my blood thinners to allow my blood to be pumped out of my body, cleansed, and then put back in. It's like a dialysis, and it's absolutely incredible. I will share the footage with you after I've had it done. As you're kind of wired up, you can't move your arms, and you've got the needles in you. But afterwards, I will be able to quickly pop it together in perhaps a video or something, or some pictures, definitely in my blog, to show you what's involved. It is amazing. I literally feel like Superman, if there's a version of a woman. Wonder Woman, there you go, that's probably the better one, or Superwoman. After I've had the treatment, I remember going to the gym last time. It was a day or two after my treatment, and I got onto the bike to cycle as my cardio warm-up, and I was like, the bike is like really loose. I'm cycling and I've got it, the resistance is cranked up. I'm going super fast and hard, but the wheels were like, I was thinking somebody has ruined this bike for it not to bite and cause, this kind of struggle for me to have a workout. So I thought, I really need to tell the gym manager about this. This bike is not working properly. And then I went over to free weights and some of the wired machines. I'm lifting weights and I'm like, these are so easy. What brand is this? Like, I'm looking at them thinking, that's wrong. The number that's written on it is far lighter than that. I think they've got new weights and it's obviously not calibrated. And then I realised I'm just feeling so much stronger, naturally lifted and elevated. Like, my stamina was incredible. The machines weren't broken at all. The free weights weren't wrongly weighed. I was just naturally buzzing with energy, and it was incredible. The output of my workout was beyond, way beyond. So yeah, having my second treatment, I'm very much looking forward to that. And I believe it's a total of 3 altogether, which I will then have after I have my surgery, when I come home and I am recovering and healing, to really boost that recovery. So heightening my immune system before I go, and then supporting my recovery once I get back. Shelby says, it's crazy. I'm trying to completely relearn my life after losing my dad. I'm so sorry for your loss. That must be impossible to just comprehend as you go through such a change. I know that passing is something that we must all do. And I recently lost my final grandparent, which was my father's mother. And then it kind of hits in that reality of, well, that generation is now gone, you know, from growing up and they were the adults to now they became elderly and now they are no more, you know, they've moved on to the next life. And then I think of my parents and think they are the oldest of our bloodline. They are in their 60s, and the feeling that we must all pass away. You never want it to happen. I don't think you're ever ready for it. But I guess from what I've seen of my own grandparents, of losing them, who were like parents to me, but not to the same respect of having a parent. So again, what you are going through, I can't even imagine what that feels like. But I realise the feeling of loss that we feel shows how deeply we loved that person, how much they meant to us, how much they influenced our lives. And the DNA that we have, we are them, we are built from them, we are from the same love and the same soul and the same existence. We have mannerisms, we have memories, we have beautiful pictures throughout life. And I hope that in everything that you do and everywhere that you go, you feel your loved ones with you. You feel that they are still here, that they can see you and they can love and support you. They can send blessings your way and miracles and help you through tough times. You simply just have to think of them and know that they will always be there with you. And sending so much love at your time that you're going through for your father, but how blessed you are to have such a wonderful father, to have lived a life with him, when so many people will never know what that feels like. And I think it's just really important that we feel that love because they were so amazing, because they meant so much to us. And now they are safe, they are at peace, they are moving on to the next realm where we will join them one day. When the time is right, when we are ready, everybody must go when they must go. And it's something that I think we should be very thankful for, this experience of life, and have beautiful memories that we can always cherish for a lifetime with those who have touched our lives, regardless of if they are blood relatives or not. We are still blessed by every interaction that we have. Scrolling your comments, guys. Hermant says, very nice look. Thank you. I can't read your name there because it's written in a different language. You say, I'm Muslim, but you are good people. Oh, thank you. I think, yeah, there's been a lot in the UK recently about people having very strong religious views. I was raised as Catholic, but identify as a Buddhist. So I didn't follow the footsteps of my very strictly religious family. The way that I've lived is very different to their lives. And it's not because I didn't like their lives. I just realised it wasn't my life. It wasn't for me. And I think we all find where we belong in life through going first through the anxiety, the stress, the discomfort of being where we don't belong. We kind of follow everybody else in the crowd. And then at some point, hopefully, we realise, I don't need to be in this crowd because actually this isn't for me. And we get that confidence, we get that understanding of ourselves, of our soul, to say, actually, I feel more drawn towards this religion or spirituality or no religion. Wherever is natural for you, not to please others, not to follow in the footsteps of a relative, a parent, or a teacher that has told you this is what you must do, this is the right path or the right choice, because it might be right for them wholeheartedly. Doesn't mean that it's right for you, doesn't mean that it's right for billions of other people. And respectfully, you know, I think religion is a wonderful thing. It brings people together, but I would never want religion to cause pain or suffering. I would never want people to fight or judge one another based upon their religious beliefs. And I have dated those of the Muslim faith in the past, and had a very respectful relationship, even though I'm spiritual and they were religious. I think you can still be an individual, you can still see each other for who you are, and be kind and supportive of one another's beliefs. I don't think religion should divide people. I think it should be something that brings you to inner peace and understanding, because you have found where you naturally fit in the world in that sense. Scrolling your comments, Grace says your tattoo looks lovely and you're beautiful. Oh, thank you. David says, morning, how are you and how is life? Good morning, David. I'm very well, thank you. 5 days till I go to Turkey for my surgery, and I'm just tying up all of the loose ends before I fly. Maru says, very beautiful and attractive. Thank you. David says, morning, Tracy. Good morning. Scrolling, Musafa says, hi, Kiss. Hi, welcome, good morning. Gogoy says, hi, friends, good afternoon. Maru says, I see in you the light of the moon and the purity of the heart. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. As an adult, I have a son who is 13 and a daughter who's 18. My son was diagnosed with autism and ADHD. I am also going through the diagnosis for autism at present, but received my ADHD diagnosis, combined type ADHD, at the start of this year. And then you rejoin the kind of process again to then go through the autism diagnosis. But as my son is, it's genetic, inherited. And I know through how he lives that he is very much a photocopy, a carbon copy of me. So I believe that neurodivergence is actually a blessing. It allows you to be your true self. It allows you to speak your mind, to be more in touch and down to earth, where society kind of filters and censors and portrays a perfect ideal image of what life could be. I feel like neurodivergent people are certainly not as inclined to follow the crowd. We kind of walk a path where we're not afraid to be embarrassing or silly or unique, or to appear as less than perfect, to admit defeat if we've done something wrong, or to say that, you know, we didn't do our best. We have the ability, I think, to just be more open without fear of judgment in such a way. David says, I have autism too. Oh, I mean, it's wonderful to hear, and I hope that you feel that it's a wonderful thing. What age were you diagnosed, and how do you feel that it's influenced your life? I have hyperfocus. I have OCD, obsessiveness, compulsion. So everything is tidy, meticulous, planned, lots of lists. I will work for 12 hours straight, super focused, forget to eat. I will go above and beyond to achieve something I am passionate about, where I think most people kind of sit on a happy medium, not rocking the boat, being a bit fearful of failure, not wanting to step out of their comfort zone. I kind of have this sense of, well, give it a go, see how you feel. And if you fail, you haven't really failed, because you've learned something, and that's surely a bonus. So yeah, I had my DNA decoded, which I am sharing a blog feature about, hopefully before I leave for Turkey. I have a meeting tomorrow with the doctors to write up the final notes from my results. And it's really, really fascinating to see exactly how I am built genetically, what has made me who I am, personality traits, physical, neurological. It's really, really insightful. David says, I've had it all my life. It's just stressful talking to people. Again, the same David. From a child, I was very shy. I wouldn't make eye contact with people. I had to have speech therapy to talk. Hence why I pronounce my words where maybe others wouldn't. They would have a more relaxed or slang type language. I always found it really hard to feel comfortable in social settings. I feel like I'd sit there like that, or with my arms like, and I'd be like, ugh. And other people are just kind of laid back, you know, they're kind of hanging out, they look relaxed, they look like they're enjoying themselves. And I'd be like, hi. Is that feeling of, I don't want to be here, and everyone can tell. And I always said to my parents when I was growing up that I felt like I was in a glass tank, like a fishbowl or a television, watching the rest of the world existing happily, effortlessly, And there I am like, oh, that's, I'm not a part of that. I can't do that right. But I definitely think as we kind of go through life, and especially for women, we become very good at masking, at kind of hiding that anxiety. To an extent, I'm definitely not as stiff and robotic as I was as a child. I had very blank expressions as a child, whereas now my face just moves at parties. And I was always smiling as a child, but I didn't really show other emotions as easily. Whereas now I think I've kind of learnt how to deal with that, how to be a bit more comfortable in my skin, to not feel like a robot or an outsider in such a way. My son definitely is a lot more kind of confident than I was. He attends a specialist school for autistic children now, but was in mainstream education up until the age of 13. And I myself was in mainstream education my whole life, so I didn't get that one-on-one support. I wasn't diagnosed as a child. I'm going through that diagnosis now as an adult. And everything about how we live and think and feel are so similar between my son and I. Sorry, I have a little frog in my throat. Maybe I should have had a coffee to clear it. But yes, I guess as you kind of go through life experience and you build up this kind of toolkit of how to deal with things, if things get too overwhelming for me, loud noises, crowds, public transport, I really struggle with. I stand at the door of the train on the underground. I'm like, don't go in, don't go in. Stay right on the edge and then hop off as soon as you can. In loud crowds, I will go for an hour rather than 5 hours. When it starts to get dark and all the lights come on and everything's like really kind of overstimulating, I'm like, right, I'm ready to go home now. Straight out the door. I wear sunglasses a lot because it kind of calms down all of that stuff going on. Yeah, so you do develop coping strategies throughout life, and perhaps you've noticed there are things you do as an adult that you didn't consider as a child that actually help you to go and do a food shop or go to a gym or to walk your dog, the things that you kind of do to build yourself up, to kind of feel comfortable enough to participate in outdoor activities or social events. I'm still nowhere near as sociable as anyone else that I know, but I'm not as antisocial as I used to be. So I feel like there are little wins there for sure. Jut says, so beautiful. Oh, thank you. Ali says, hello. Hi there. Scrolling, Kumar says, looking gorgeous with a beautiful smile. Thank you. Scrolling. Momin says, hello, welcome. Leon says, so beautiful. Thank you. Good morning. David says, do you have a dog? Yes. And I feel this is a neurodivergent thing. I have 5 dogs. You can't hear them now because they're sleeping on the sofa. But I have 5 dogs, a cat, a rabbit, and 2 children. So 7 pets, 2 children. I'm a single parent and I work full time. So yes, interesting life. I like to kind of overload on positive things. I think most people kind of weigh up, ooh, should I have a dog or would it be too much responsibility? Whereas I'm like, give me all the responsibility in the world. I'll see that and I'll raise you 10. That's how I kind of feel. And I'm very capable, can-do attitude kind of person. If I think something is very difficult or unachievable, I have to prove it to myself that I can do it for that reason. So it just pushes me even more to then say, well, you told me I couldn't, so let me show you I can. And if I have one dog and I think, well, I might not be able to travel because I have a dog and, you know, it's kind of a responsibility. You've got to feed them, you've got to take them out, you've got to do all these things. What's the difference between doing that for 1 versus doing that for 5? And they have 5 small dogs, so Chihuahuas, Pomeranians and Dachshund. But I think it would be different if it was a Labrador or a Doberman. So yes, small fluffy dogs. And I feel the same with children. If you have 1 child, that's already a responsibility and changes how you live. So then having 2 children is not much difference. And being a single parent, being able to work from home, it's allowed me then to have pets at home. Whereas if I was in an office in a 9 to 5, I would definitely not be able to have five dogs. A cat, definitely. A rabbit, definitely, but not 5 dogs. They need that love and attention. And I think time together is really important. Do you guys have any pets? David says, what type of dogs do you own? Yes, so Pomeranians, Chihuahua, Pomchi, which is a Pomeranian Chihuahua cross, and Dachshund. So all little fluffy, snuggly dogs. They're wonderful. Suresh says, so beautiful. Thank you. And Mohammed says, good. Thank you all for joining, guys. So I just wanted to hop on ahead of heading into central London in a moment for my blood cleanse, to share with you the countdown to my surgery as I leave in 5 days, and also to invite you to guess, what do you think I am having done? 6 surgical procedures in Turkey, and I am there for 8 days, but 2 days spent travelling. So can you guess what surgical procedures you think that I'm having? And will you be right? We shall see when I reveal the full and final list of what is going on. David says, I love Huskies and Labradors. Lovely, lovely dogs. Lots of enthusiasm and so intelligent. Animals are incredible. They bring so much peace and love to our lives. They allow us to be tactile and affectionate. And they don't judge you. You can just cuddle them, stroke them. They lay on your lap. They calm you. They're just wonderful. And I think more people in the world, if they had a pet, loved a pet, understood unconditional, non-judgmental love, it would make the world such a better place. Thank you all for joining, guys. I hope you have a lovely day. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I have had a wonderful time talking to you and sending so much love and light your way. I will see you all soon.